of the important tools when it comes to grain storage hygiene is Diatomaceous Earth, or DE, or Dryaside as one of the commercial names is. It's a fantastic structural treatment and one that's pretty easy to apply. And Chris, typically we've used something like this. It's a blowback gun with an air compressor, but some recent research indicates that there might be other ways of getting DE into our silos and sheds that might be more effective.
Yeah, the GRDC grain storage extension team were being asked, what about the 18-volt leaf blowers as a quick and easy way to apply DE without having to cut the air compressor around? So some research was done, trickling the dust into the inlet of the fan, that worked okay. Trickling the dust into the stream of air coming out of the blower, that also worked okay. But we thought, what about making a homemade version of the venturi and putting that onto the blower? So that actually worked quite well in our testing.
And Chris, that's just built out of parts from a local hardware store. They're just mostly PVC fittings that I can see. Yeah. Pretty simple.
A 50mm Y PVC fitting with about a 25mm inlet on the suction side. So measure out the DE and that'll draw it from a container and put a good stream of dust and air into the storage.
I suppose the important part is just getting that swirl inside the shed or silo that we're working at. What about the larger silos, the larger flat bottoms and sheds? You've got another model here. I suppose it's a little bit of a larger scale, so similar sort of idea?
Same idea, just a larger version, and using a 36-volt leaf blower or even a petrol-powered leaf blower works really well for those larger flat bottom silos or sheds.
Just to get that circulation. What about the dose? We've got to get that right. On the label it says 2 grams per square metre of surface area inside. Is there a way we can calculate that?
Yeah, there is. In the GRDC grain storage grow notes, there's a real reference table that's a good guide, but as you said, the label's 2 grams per square metre of surface area, so calculate that out for the storage, get it into a container, and then apply it. In silos, it's really easily done from the ground through the access hole. Open the top lid, really swirl that leaf blower around, get a good distribution in there. Once you see the dust start floating out the top, shut the lid and the job's done. Of course, don't forget your PPE, dust and goggles. You want to keep this out of your lungs and out of your eyes.
So Chris, what about sheds? What can we do with those?
Yeah, look, we have trialled using Diatomaceous Earth application with the larger version of the leaf blower and the homemade venturi in sheds, and found it actually quite effective, provided the venturi was set up accurately without the suction tube too far into the airstream so that we don't lose too much velocity. The other tip for putting it in sheds, obviously there's more than one container full we need to apply. So measure out the quantities and put those containers placed around the sheds. That helps with application to be more even, more uniform across the whole area of the shed. So the simple process is to point the leaf blower at the roof and the walls and traverse the shed until the container's empty, pick up the next container and continue on. So not a hard process. Obviously applying DE as a slurry is another option.
Yeah, that's right. I suppose, even coverage is important, so whether it's swirling or making sure that we've got it evenly distributed throughout the shed is really important, and that bucket tip regularly throughout the shed's a great idea. So Diatomaceous Earth, or DE, is a fantastic structural treatment, and with some of these tools is really easily applied. For more information, go to the GRDC Stored Grain Information website, which is storedgrain.com.au, or give one of the team a call on 1800 Weevil. That's 1800 933 845.